Hi, this is Dave at Chestertown Electric. I had a request to show more details about some of the smaller items that I have in the collection. So here it is. This is a rare extension cord. You could screw into a lamp socket and then screw something else that had the matching plug in here. That may seem odd to you, but back in the I think up through maybe the 40s, some appliances would come with what basically looks like a light bulb socket. This is a Benjamin socket where you could screw it into a lamp socket without the cord twisting around. So that was a common wall outlet or electrical plug style before they had the twin prongs. This is even an extension cord kind of thing. I think you would screw it on the wall, and the wires coming in here, and there was a switch where you could turn it on and off, and you could either screw in your appliance that has the Edison plug on it, or plug in a normal plug, or maybe not so normal. But see, here's like a Hubble inline plug that was common before the American standard two-prong plug became more common. So this thing would just plug right in there. So Mr. Hubble tried to charge some patent money for his inline plug, and the competition just turned both prongs 90 degrees and avoided his patent. I believe that's the story. So here's another kind of interesting outlet. You still find these in old houses sometimes. So this plug will fit in there, or a standard. And this one too. This is maybe from a boat. Not sure. And there's a nice halophane lamp I like. I put a peace symbol on it when I was experimenting with copper oxide coatings. But this is the outlet that has a light bulb socket. And you might think, well, why would somebody screw a light bulb into the wall? Well, that's not what they're doing. That's so they could screw their iron into the wall. This is a wort dimmer. This is a nice piece. I like this. And this is a nice piece. And I have a video on the Bump Speed YouTube channel, which is where this video is. And it gives you more information about that. It works. There's a Chapman outlet, rods from a carbon arc lamp. There would be like two of these next to each other, and they put some high voltage on it and shoot a big arc across it. That's how they made light. There's another rare outlet here. I think there's a movie on the YouTube channel on that too. These are modular discard plugs where you would put together different, up to 6 different modules, and you could switch modules, plug, socket modules, pilot light modules, different things. And so down in this cabinet, let's see, we got Betty Boop, it's a switch plate, and different adapters you screw into a lamp socket, and you could plug your pronged outlet into it. So there's a nice brass push button, like doorbell button. In the back, there's some cast iron switch plates for push button switches. There's actually an aluminum one, which is kind of nice. And some different kinds of outlets, different kinds of switches. That black thing is actually a multi-speed fan pull switch that you would use on a ceiling fan. Let's see. There's more switches, plugs. This lamp socket in the front is a Thomson Houston. Like where the brass stops, and there's a black adapter on the right that makes it so you can screw in an Edison light bulb. But it really has a Thomson Houston socket in the middle, which is like a male stud that comes out that the light bulb would screw onto. And actually, both of these light bulbs here are Thomson Houston. It's one of the standards that they had right before Edison really won out. There's in the back, there's a snap switch that takes a key to operate. And the black and white boxes are for doorbells. There's a switch plate for like an Edison socket that's in the copper oxide finish. It's in pretty good shape. And some new plugs, some push buttons. Like my grandfather used to have these in his house. I like them. And switch pull for like a ceiling light. Different kinds of outlets. These are some clusters where you could screw like 2 or 3 different things into one lamp socket. Ceramic junction box that would be up in the rafters or something where different wires could go together, and they're actually like really similar to the sheet metal ones that you buy nowadays. Let's see, some different kinds of adapters and different things. And then they had some strange outlets, I think in the 60s, like triples and quadruples and stuff that they could get away with before they shifted to 3-prongers. And as soon as they had 3-prong, they couldn't fit 4 3-prongers in one wall outlet. Different things. All right. So, and then over here we have this is a hair curler. So it's like a little furnace that would get it really hot, and you could wrap up your hair and curl it. There's a stereo viewer with a film roll, and I believe like when you went to an attraction like Disneyland, you buy a little film roll and you could stick it in your viewer, and you had a little lever and you'd snap through it, and you could see stereoscopic, like 3D images of the place that you were at. This is a nice wall switch outlet, and I think from the 30s, I'm not sure. Plastic. It's kind of nice. And this is a Weldon lamp. This is kind of a handsome lamp. I think it's from the 40s or 50s. And this company, Weldon, is still in business, but now I believe all they make is taillights for school buses. But they're in business. This is some kind of electric pump that it's really nicely made, but the plastic on the brush is cracked. So right now I can't get it to work. There's a this is a Benjamin cluster where you would screw it into a light bulb socket, and then it would let you screw 2 other things in there. And this is a variant that you don't normally see that has an adjuster. I mean, the screw is in the base, so that when you screw it in, you can actually orient the 2 bulb sockets. Where some of them don't have this feature, so like whenever it gets tight, those are how your bulbs are oriented. I got some new old stock light bulbs. This is an AP60 selector. It's part of a telephone system for railroads. It has a code wheel that spins around, and I'm gonna try to get one of these working someday. I can explain it later. But you can see right there, there's like a hole that has a nut in it. There's like little pins that hang down, and you put your phone number in there by like where you put the pin. So that's kind of interesting. And then I just got a bunch of old little parts here, except for that monkey. Let's see, like I got some switches that have never been used, some switch plates, different things like that, and old plugs, some new wire, fuse boxes, different things. I use these for restoring fans and lamps, and sometimes I'll use like a new wire, or sometimes I use the old wire. I have some like old wire, like here, that was maybe 80-year-old wire or something, or 50-year-old wire that's never been used. So I use that if that's in good shape.